Abueg, and I invite Amy Abueg to give a reflection on her involvement in campus ministry and how Loyola and her education here has helped to grow in faith. Please be seated.
It is dangerous to make everybody go forward by the same road and worse to let others drag go south. Same nation somewhere. 4 years ago, I told Loyola, I never planned to attend college so far. The week following my visit, I was leaving Kairos, a senior retreat, and mentioned this to my tour guide, who shared that he loved the retreat and led it as well. I mentioned to him that I was looking for a place to grow in community and in my thinking. Giving me his personal testimony about finding faith community at Loyola, he assured me that I could do the same. As my 4 years counsel head, I can attest that I have found exactly what I go for and so much more. Stepping on this campus as a student, like you, I have my own idea what would be in store for me. From the communities and friendships, the experiences, and even the wealth of knowledge I am privileged of tapping into. At the core of all these different aspects was the experience of gender education. Over orientation, we learned the classic buzzwords like people formed others, cure personality, care for that person, or finding God on all things. At the beginning, and maybe like some of you, I viewed my Catholic faith, and even the school's Jesuit Catholic identity, as a separate, distinct one of my education. I had my studies, and then I had my communities, like Christian Life Community, Campus Ministries, Faith-Based Small Group Loyola, and individually, the Catholic Suite of Organization on campus. These communities satisfied my longing for friendships that built on faith. I've met so many wonderful people, my closest friends, and have come to know Jesus more closely. But what I was not expecting was how my faith would deepen outside of these intentional faith communities. How what I learned inside and outside of the classroom would lead me to fall in love with my faith. And like Paul's letter, I have been enriched by Christ's love of the amazing of the night. With my experiences in the classroom, whether it be my core classes or my major or minor classes, I realized that my curiosity to learn was an effort to find God in all things. From classes like Eco Spirituality, which connected my love for the outdoors with how I experienced God and creation, to philosophy classes, which challenged my thinking in so many ways, especially as someone who was to philosophy, or even in my psychology classes, which left me even more fascinated by the intricacies of our minds. Outside of the classroom, these things I learned transmitted into how I experienced the world and ultimately God. My Christian Life Community small groups gave me the space to process, reflect, and pray with others about the greatest God who is present in my life. Eventually, I had the privilege to lead these small groups, hoping to create spaces that so welcome and provided me with the opportunity to explore my faith community. I experienced God's love on me through the love, friendships, and communities with others. How He has called me to love and be loved with one another. Other opportunities that we will do today, in Montes in Portugal, and the Seventh Synod in Madonna, showed me the true beauty of our universal church experiencing cultural diversities from all over the world. I saw how our faith transcends the barriers we have with one another. I witnessed the amazing ways the Spirit is at work, ways that I cannot even comprehend. I'm consistently left in awe thinking of how God is ever present in my life. But I didn't always see it like that. Throughout my 4 years, I certainly have experienced God in new ways. Not so much as God appeared to me any differently, but more so that I became more aware of the little, subtle ways that God has always been present for me. For so long, I compared their personal spiritual life and faith journey to those of ours. And you might have found yourself doing the same throughout these 4 years. How come I can't experience God the same way? Where is that God feeling? Simply put, I measured my spirituality to those around me. I limited my understanding to what I perceived God to be. If there's anything Loyola has taught me, it's that we can find God in things. It's not that God wasn't present, but rather that I wasn't attentive to the ways God was working. We can't all move forward in the same path, nor should we. What we experience and how we experience will all be different. The beauty of our dissertation is that it empowers us to discover our authentic selves in everything that we do. And in doing so, we find and experience the ways God's working throughout our lives. In times like these, finding God in the unexpected is not only a gift to ourselves, but also to those around us. Let us allow ourselves to experience the joys of God's works so that we can go forth to be people of hope for others. Who knows? You might be the only encounter of God's grace in someone else's day or life. We have the gifts to make the changes. We have the ability to choose hope. And we have the power to set the world on fire. Once I embraced and acknowledged those differences of how I have God, I became in awe of how close God has been all this time. How everything throughout my family experience has pointed me towards God's greater glory. Thank you, Loyola.